Hello everybody and welcome back to Odin's Movie Blog. I am the critic who is cynic. Hope you're doing well. And today we're going to be talking about Disney news. So Disney has indeed announced the dates, not the movies, but the dates for not only their new Star Wars films coming out, but also Phase 4 of the MCU. Now this is a little bit interesting because remember Disney just, it seems like a few weeks ago, announced that they were going to take a slow down approach to Star Wars and that once they finished with Episode 9 this year, they were going to take maybe a year, maybe 2 years off. They didn't really speculate or at least specify how long of a break they would take, but they did seem to indicate they were going to slow that down to focus more so on their streaming service, which makes sense. Disney Plus is going to be a new service. They're going to try and get as many subscribers on that lower tier price as they can, so that eventually over time, when they do inevitably increase the price, they'll have so many people already stuck in their ecosystem that they'll be able to get away with it and not lose too many people. The next Star Wars movie is said to hit around 2022, so it does seem like they're taking a little bit of their own advice by saying that they're going to take a couple years off because the next film won't come until 2022, but that doesn't seem like too much of really a stretch. Doesn't seem like too much of a wait, seeing how, you know, when you look to the fact that there's almost like a year or so difference between the movies now, I mean, to have just a 2-year difference is really not all that much more than what was already being said. It is interesting, though, that they are announcing that there is going to be another Star Wars trilogy, though, of course, they are not specifying which trilogy it is going to be. Let's dive into the news. It says Disney, having consumed the past, present, and future of 20th Century Fox earlier this year, has plans for the next 7 years. Have you thought about 2027? One of the biggest media companies on the planet has, because that's when Avatar 5 comes out. Avatar 5. Good Lord, I do not want an Avatar 5, let alone Avatar 2. So that does not make me happy. In a major land grab, Disney announced on Tuesday all of its release date plans for the next 7 years. Here's the major news. Now, this is huge news because they are announcing all of their release dates. And some of these dates go, you know, for the next couple years. And to me, that's pretty bold to say, yeah, we're claiming these dates. Don't even try to go against us. Though I will say this much. If Disney keeps on going in the direction that it is going with their two major franchises of Marvel and Disney, Marvel and Star Wars, I don't really know if it's going to be a good, I don't know if it's going to age well. Right now, it's a strong move. It's a power move on their part to try and say, yep, we have a lot of things going on. We've got a lot of big plans going on. But at the same time, too, there's a lot of factors. There's a lot of things that are really unknown. The next Star Wars movie arrives in 2022. After making clear that Star Wars movies were on a hiatus after this December's Rise of Skywalker, Disney confirmed with the release schedule that fans would get another sequel or new trilogy kickoff in 3 years. We get another sequel or new trilogy kickoff. That is interesting how they are not specifying whether or not it's going to be a brand new trilogy or possibly a sequel. I really, really, really hope that it is not a sequel. The last thing that anyone really wants is more Finn or more of Rey. I'm sorry, these characters are not really that compelling. You can have as many people doing cosplay of them and have the figures, having action figures sell, which really aren't selling all that well in the first place. You cannot honestly say you could have an entire series based solely on those new characters without having to hark back to the older stuff. I mean, they've made it pretty clear this is going to be the end of the Skywalker saga, which seems to indicate that they're going to try and cut ties with it completely, which I think actually would be a good thing. If they're going to go in a new direction, they want to have, they don't want to have the weight of the original trilogy over, on them, because if they do, the original trilogy fans are going to look there and say, wait a minute, this is nothing to do. You're just creating more problems and issues. And I think it's been one of the biggest problems is that they want to go in new directions with these stories. But the problem is that they're doing so at the expense of the original stories, at the expense of the original characters, and it's making so many people frustrated that it's ending up, affecting their bottom line. That's why Solo ended up losing as much money as it did. Still interesting nonetheless that they are already saying that they're going to do this. Whether or not it's Rian Johnson's trilogy or whatever Game of Thrones creators, Benioff and Weiss, are cooking up, we are unknown. But per Disney's announcement, the film will kick off 3 new, as of yet, Star Wars films will release on the pre-Christmas weekend every other year, beginning in 2022. So the first film, 2022, instead of it being once a year, it's going to be every other year. And this is the reason why, honestly, based on that alone, we really don't know who it's going to be. Because it would make sense for Rian Johnson, because Rian Johnson takes forever to write, and therefore having that much time between films would make sense. It would also make sense for DB and Weiss, because, DB Weiss and David Benioff, because they themselves also take a pretty, they take themselves pretty, they take their time. They take their time, except when it comes to the final season of Game of Thrones that we've waited for 2 years. 2 years we thought was enough time, but apparently they still had to rush stories and rush everything. That's a whole other story for a whole other video. However, it is interesting nonetheless that they're not saying which trilogy it's going to be. I'm wondering, I really am, are they going to double down on Rian Johnson and say, yep, Rian Johnson's first film is coming out in 2022? Because if they think that, the next couple years is going to be a cakewalk for that dude, after all the nonsense that he's done, he's still acting like a complete asshat on Twitter. If you think that the fans are just going to say, oh, we're going to forget all of that, come on. I mean, at least announce it to be those guys, because those you know, as many issues that I have with the current season of Game of Thrones, and even, you know, a lot of the episodes from the previous seasons, I will say this much. When they are given source material, and when they are guided by the creator of that source material, they do good work. I don't think anyone's going to deny that what we got in the first, like, 3 or 4 seasons of Game of Thrones were not, like, incredibly solid. Like, and that's not just a story. The story obviously is a major part of that, but also the production value, everything else that's involved, the direction. And so they can do good stuff. We know they can do good stuff. We also know they can do crap stuff. A lot of people tend to forget that, you know, these are the guys, or at least one of them is behind the sewing together of Deadpool's mouth in that awful, god-awful X-Men Origins Wolverine film. Yeah, that was them. Isn't that fun? So we know that when they're on their own, they really struggle a lot when it comes to creating stories like they are right now without having the guiding hand of George R.R. Martin on set. But I will say this much, if they are given, let's say, an Old Republic set, if they're given maybe an Old Republic author, you know, it would be really cool to see someone like a Timothy Zahn come in and say, yep, I'm going to be the one on point with the story and creating all this stuff, but I'll let you guys adapt it. That actually, to me, would sound pretty damn awesome, because as many problems as I might have with them on their own, I don't think anyone can really question that when they're adapting material, especially when that material is pretty, like, tight, I think that they could do a lot of really cool things. So I'm hoping that it's them and not Rian Johnson. If I had to choose between those two, I would much rather they get it, because, as I said, at least if they have a good writer, at least if they have someone guiding the path, it would be good. The problem with Rian Johnson is that it's assumed that he's not only going to direct, but write. If he was just directing, honestly, I don't think it would be as bad as The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi was really bad because not only did he direct it, but he also wrote it. And he's even admitted himself he's not a good writer. So, interesting to see what's going to happen. Marvel has Phase 4 plans for 2020 and beyond. And this is, to me, where it gets absolutely insane when you think about the number of films that are going to be released. Marvel's post-Endgame releases are technically unknown, but we know Phase 4 movies probably include Black Widow standalone film, an adaptation of The Eternals, which they're going to try and get really woke for, a Shang-Chi movie, Black Panther 2. Marvel has 2 2020 movies on the calendar slated for May 1st and November 6th, 3 untitled films planned for 2021 and 2022, with writer James Gunn booked for Suicide Squad in the immediate future. Expect Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 to take one of the late dates. Now, this is interesting because 2 films are going to be slated for 2020. I would assume one of them will probably be The Eternals, and the other would probably be Black Widow. I think those might be the 2 films, and what's interesting to me is that they've only announced 2 and not 3. But yet for 2021 and 2022, they do have 3 films each for those years, which means that we're only going to get 2 options for next year. And Black Widow, as much as I would like to see that film, I don't know if I would want that to be the one of the 2 films, especially with the current direction of where the MCU is going. I want that film to be passed. I want that film to be made when all of this nonsense, all this plot and time travel and multiverse nonsense is just out of the picture completely. I would be much more excited for a Black Widow film next year if that was the case. But based on the Spider-Man trailer, it just doesn't seem like we're going to get that much clarification going forward. The next Disney live-action remakes are revealed. Great! Oh, yes, this is what everyone wanted, right? Everyone wanted more live-action remakes. Oh my god, it's getting worse and worse. Disney packed 2019 full of animation to in real life conversions. Even following Lion King. No, Lion King is not. Here's the problem. No, I'm sorry. Polygon, Lion King is not in real life. I'm sorry. It is so sorry. It is complete CGI nonsense. It's not real life adaptation. Quit lying. Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, into the mix in 2019 as well. The schedule reveals what's next. Mulan for 2020, Cruella, 101 Dalmatians, Redux starring Emma Stone for 2020. Disney has 8 untitled live-action projects sprinkled throughout 2021 and 2022, many expected to follow suit in adapting well-known animated works. Good God, are you kidding me? We're going to get 4 films. 4 films in 2021 and 2022, all live-action remakes? Are you kidding me? Are you out of your mind? No one wants this. No one wants that nonsense. Seriously. Oh, well, you know, Beauty and the Beast made $1 billion. It still sucked. And if you tried doing a Beauty and the Beast 2 with the same people, it wouldn't do as well, trust me. Go ahead and just look to Dumbo. Again, Dumbo didn't do that well. Look at the modern day, the more recent live-action stuff, and it's not doing nearly as well. Aladdin has a lot of criticism. I don't think Aladdin's going to do that well. We'll find out very soon because that comes out this month. We'll find out very soon if Lion King's going to do anything. Lion King, I think they're going to just totally, protect that film. Similar to Captain Marvel, where they will put it in every theater known to man, and they will put it in all the 3D screens, so that way the average ticket price is so high that even if no one sees it, it'll still make money because it's got to be a success. Because, the only reason why we're making Lion King is for, you guessed it. Pixar also announced the company's next original project, Onward, in late 2018. Ooh, original content? Really? Really? Isn't that exciting? Other than that, we know nothing and continue to know nothing. Based on the last decade of production sequels to the animation studios, it seems likely. Inside Out 2, Coco 2, Cock 2? Really hope they don't make a Coco 2. Coco was fine the way it was. Wall F, good God, please no. 2020 will see 2 new Pixar films, followed by a single release in 2021 and another double serving in 2022. I hope that they continue to be the source of any original content, because right now Disney has none. What you've just seen, Star Wars, all based on original all based on previous material. All unoriginal content. Phase 4 of the MCU, all again, based on previous material. Live action remakes, unoriginal material. Disney Pixar's remain a mystery. Okay, so we have one film that might be an original, a little bit uncertain about the others. Meaning that we'll probably get, I would say, out of the, let's see, but we got 2. So we got 5 total films coming out over the next couple years. I would imagine that, 3 or 4 of the 5 are probably going to end up being sequels. And so it means that Disney is really not doing that much original content. The new Indiana Jones, because, oh yeah, that's what we want, right? That is what we want. We want another Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull. That's what everyone wants. God. Artemis Fowl, New Mutants has a new release date. That's just great, isn't it? Isn't it? Now in 2020. Good God, that film has been pushed back so many damn times. I have no hope left for it. And is that, I guess, going to be an MCU film? Are they going to try and bring it into the MCU since it's an X-Men? I mean, okay. Oh my gosh, seriously, this is just ridiculous. Kingsman prequel still happening. No, we don't need any more Kingsman stuff. Blue Sky Animation will continue production on Nimona. Okay. Disney now owns Pixar. Oh my God, right. Oh my God, I just realized this. They do now own Blue Sky. They own Ice Age. They own the, oh my gosh, this is Avatar. Disney will release a new Avatar movie every 2 years through 2027. That's great. Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And let's just go through this list real quick. Sorry. I'm getting distracted by all the nonsense and all the unoriginal content. But this is the stuff that they've got coming out this year. So Tolkien looks pretty damn good. I'm very excited about that. Aladdin looks like crap. Dark Phoenix looks like crap. Toy Story 4. Why? We don't need it. We do not need a Toy Story 4. Please. Stuber. Okay. I guess something that, no one really asked for either. Doesn't look that great. Lion King. Crap. Art of Dancing in Rain. I don't know what that is. Ready or Not. Meh. Ad Astra. The Woman in the Window. Maleficent. No one really wanted that either. Ford vs. Ferrari. Okay. Frozen 2. Oh, yes. Yay. Frozen, right? Let it go, let it go. Don't copyright me, please. Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker. The Rise of Skywalker. Spies in Disguise. And then we've got Untitled, Kingsman, Onward, Mulan, New Mutants, Untitled, and just, as you can see, Bob's Burgers is getting a movie. Jungle Cruise, oh, man. I hope you can see West Side Story, because that's right, West Side Story is getting remade. Forgot about that. I forgot about that. All the Untitled, remake, reboot, based on previous material, and I'm seeing almost no original content whatsoever. And Avatar, you really can't say it's original content because it just stole, the first one at least did, from any other film that did it better, like Ferngully, for example. But guys, what is y'all's thoughts about this? Are you excited for the future of Disney films? Like, seriously, Disney, what in the hell? Are you not going to at least try to create more original content? Because eventually people are going to get tired of this crap. Yeah, you might win some people over with the streaming service, but they'll stay there. They'll say, oh, no, I'll just wait for it to come on the streaming service. Now I don't have to go to the movies to see your movie. Like, you do realize that that's like the conundrum that you're now putting yourself in. And part of me really thinks that that's what they want, because eventually they might say, oh, yeah, look, we have all these plans for the 20,000s and 2022s, all this stuff. But I really do think that instead what's going to happen is they're going to start to realize, and I think they're going to start to reveal that their plans are actually to start shifting more and more content, movies especially, to their streaming service, and eventually have that be the sole proprietor of all their products. It's going to happen, guys. It's the future. Guys, what are y'all's thoughts on this? Let me know your thoughts on the future of the MCU. Yes, indeed. 3 movies in a year. Gosh, that's a lot. Star Wars, starting sooner than what expected, 2022. Not going to have to wait that long for a Star Wars film. Do you think it's going to be Rian Johnson? Do you think it's going to be the, the Game of Thrones people? Do you think they're actually going to be given complete and utter reign, or are they going to be reined in with a good writer? I mean, that one difference is going to make a huge difference on whether or not I see it and whether or not many other people see it as well. Love to hear your thoughts about this and all the other things that I talked about today in this article. Please let me know in the comments below if you like this video, and also if you have any thoughts on this, please like the video, subscribe, and share it as well. People are getting unsubscribed all the time, so please, if you can, make sure you're subscribed, make sure you hit that bell notification, because no one notifies anybody around here, because YouTube's awful, YouTube sucks. And please join us for the One Man Low Council stream tonight. Cannot wait. Guys, you're all amazing, beautiful people. Have a wonderful day, and as always, God bless.